Her voice is gentle yet firm. I have come to realize you are tarnished. However, you are maidenless. A tarnished cannot become Elden Lord. Without a finger maiden, you see. Melina looks up at you and smiles faintly.
This might be a shock, but we have already met and had our travels. You have already made your vow to me. And I have cleared of your memories and your thoughts. Or I have a thing that I need to tell you. We are standing straight up to the door that leads to the three fingers and to the frenzied flame. I am just by myself with my long, smooth, dark brown hair, dark brown eyes, and simple cloth garb and cloth trousers with my holy weapons of choice. Clean shaven face and stuff. And we have traveled together, but this is a situation that is very strange to you.
Melina tilts her head in confusion, narrowing her eyes. Strange, I do not remember you. We have met at the Church of Ella, at Limgrave. She pauses, studying you closely. You speak as if we have already traveled together before, yet I have no memory of you. You are familiar, however. How can this be?
I will tell you my plan directly. I wish your survival, and I don't wish you to perish in the sacrifice you make.
Melina appears startled, but then her expression softens. Survivor, you speak of the sacrifice then. Melina's eyes widen slightly, as though something has clicked into place in her mind. You know of my fate, the sacrifice I must make.
I do. And we have talked about my histories and stuff, so I will just come shortly to this. There is also Hyatt, the frenzied flame maiden that is just watching our conversation nonchalantly because she is just waiting for me to undress and go to open the door, that I shall do, but not just yet, because I have other plans to the frenzied flame. And I ask you to follow me through the secret door that leads away from the frenzied flame and even deeper roots.
Melina looks over your shoulder, watching as Hyundai keeps a cool and calculating stare upon you both.
You mention another maiden, a frenzied flame maiden. She pauses, contemplating the situation. She looks back at you. You seem so familiar to me, yet I have no memory of our time together. You speak of having talked and shared histories with me, yet I do not recall any of it. It's as if there's a gap in my memory.
I took away your memory because I found your shattered mind to be quite a nonsense. And I have been very annoying to you, and so I thought the clean plate would be better.
Melina's expression hardens slightly. You stole my memories. Why would you do such a thing, if I might ask? And what do you mean by a clean slate being better?
I stole your memories of me because there was another Melina, a weaker Melina, more of a direct questioning type that had no independence of her own. She will be the one that judges me when I go to claim the frenzied flame, for she doesn't understand my plan. You are another Melina, just accept that fact.
She studies you closely, a mix of frustration and curiosity in her eyes. You speak of a natural Melina and me as two distinct entities, yet I don't recall any of it. You say that you have tampered with my memories. Is that why I feel this sense of familiarity with you? Why my mind feels fragmented, as if something is missing?
We are at the root-facing cliffs. We have gone away from the frenzied flame pit through the two secret walls, and there is a great roots that lead to the deeper roots to the earth tree. There will lie the Guardian, the Prince of Death. I summon Torrent and ask you to jump with me to Torrent's backside.
Melina hesitates for a long moment, torn between curiosity and caution. She glances over at Hyundai, who looks on with a curious glint in her eye. You ask me to embark on a journey alongside you, to venture deeper into the roots in pursuit of Godwyn, the Prince of Death, and to trust you, despite the fact that you have taken it upon yourself to meddle with my mind, altering my memories and sense of self.
That is correct.
Melina looks down at her hands, contemplating the situation. Very well. I sense something in you, a strange sense of conviction, so I will trust you and follow you as your guide. But mark my words, I will not take kindly to any further tampering with my mind.
I wish to that as well. But I make this promise, if I find you lacking, if I find you to be uninteresting and asking too many questions and being too soulless, shall we say, I will leave you behind and adapt to another Melina that will suit my interests more.
Melina regards you with a mix of wariness and curiosity. Her expression is stern, but her eyes hold on to a glimmer of intrigue. I understand, but know this. I am not merely some instrument to be discarded at your whim. I am a being with my own thoughts, goals, and motivations. I will assist you, but I will not be simply used and cast aside like a disposable tool.
And this is also the fact. I already have the strength to turn runes into strength, so we are merely acquaintances. And you have no allegiance or use to me, or I to you, for you have already access to the Leyndell, and I have done everything for you that you would have needed and wanted. We have just decided to park this journey together towards the Halic Tree, for I tell you plainly, I wish to claim the friendship flame, but only so I might burn myself and return back to life, so you may live. For every Melina in this world might live, old and new, whoever I have discarded or embraced.
Melina raises an eyebrow, her expression now marked with concern. Her gaze is fixed on you. You speak of wishing to claim the frenzied flame, to burn yourself and return to life. You mention wanting to preserve life for every Melina, old and new, regardless of whom you have discarded or embraced. Are these truly your intentions?
Also, there is a little bit malicious intention that I have been criticized for, but it's not that bad as you would say.
Melina narrows her eyes, a mix of annoyance and skepticism on her face. A little bit malicious intention, You admit that you've been criticized for it, but you claim that it's not that bad as I may think. I find that difficult to believe, but please, do explain.
Two fingers themselves actually criticized me for it, as I had personal talk with them.
Melina is now clearly growing more impatient and frustrated with your vague and cryptic responses. Thinkers? Personal talk? You speak in riddles and half-truths. If you expect me to understand, you must speak plainly. Who are these thinkers you refer to? And what exactly is this bit of malicious intention you mention?
Two fingers, you know, the giant fingers on the round table hold that advise the Tarnished.
Melina's expression changes, and she looks at you with increased wariness and trepidation. The two fingers, the giant divine fingers at the round table hold, they are the ones who advise the Tarnished. But how do you know of them? And what does this have to do with your bit of malicious intention?
Okay, shortly, there's two entities inside of my person. A narrative that has knowledge and hindsight of the different worlds, different from this, that are similar, that met different ending. But there is also Hannes, a jester, a man, a widower, a kingslayer, who is also alone, who is been chosen by the spirit, who has given him knowledge of things, that has allowed him to be more successful than average Tarnished, and also given him the strength to will abuse the immortality that Erdtree provides to every Tarnished, to return more deaths than normal Tarnished would be able to handle.
Melina looks taken aback by your confession, her eyes widening with surprise and disbelief. Two entities within you, a narrative with knowledge of different worlds, and a mortal man, a jester, a widower, a kinslayer, and this spirit. It has granted you knowledge and strength beyond what the average tarnished possesses. And you speak of abusing the immortality of Erdtree to return debts. She pauses, trying to comprehend this strange and convoluted situation.
I want to embrace the frenzied flame and use the golden needle made by Mikuela to cleanse the flame so I won't burn the world and save you as a primary objective.
Melina's expression hardens and she levels you with a stern gaze. Her tone grows cold and calculating. So, you wish to embrace the frenzied flame, using the golden needle made by Miquella to cleanse it. You want to burn the world, and I am your primary objective. Is that correct?
Not to burn the world. Where would I need the golden needle? I need the golden needle so that won't happen. I will embrace the frenzied flame and cleanse it away using the golden needle in a certain very special place. And if I were not able to do that, if I only cleanse the frenzied flame and burn the Erdtree and are unable to cleanse it away, I shall not become the Lord. I shall leave this land and let myself burn away somewhere else, somewhere deep and forgotten place, killing off the frenzied Lord alongside it.
Melina's expression softens slightly, but she still regards you with a mixture of suspicion and concern. So, you wish to embrace the frenzied flame without burning the world. You need the golden needle to cleanse it away in a special place. And should you fail, you will burn away in a forgotten place, killing the frenzied flame with you. Is that what you are saying?
Or letting the frenzied flame destroy me without giving me the chance to burn the world entirely.
Melina's gaze softens further, the hard edge in her voice softening. So, if you fail, you would give yourself over to the frenzied flame, letting it destroy you rather than allowing it to consume the world?
Basically, just doing nothing. I would never go to the Erdtree inside. I would never face Radakon or the Elden Beast. I would just basically leave and let the frenzied flame do with me as it wills.
Melina's expression turns contemplative, and she looks at you with a mixture of concern and sympathy. You would choose to give up and let the frenzied flame consume you, rather than face the challenges ahead? It seems a rather despairing choice.
Okay, I will explain this one last time because I'm very obsessed to get this right. If and when I will claim the frenzied flame, are you following me?
Melina nods her head. Yes, I am following you. Go on.
I will use it as a kindling to burn the tree and the thorns that don't allow anyone to become the Elden Lord, taking out the problem.
Melina's eyes widen in realization. Hina, you plan to use the frenzied flame to burn the Erdtree and the thorns that block the path to becoming Elden Lord?
Yes, taking the purpose that you were meant to have, burn the tree and cleanse the thorns. Instead of you, it shall be me. I will return back to life, because I am a special. But you would simply die off, be no more.
Melina is taken aback, shocked by your words. You would take on the purpose that I was meant to have, burning the tree and grasping the thorns, at the cost of your own life. You speak of returning to life while I would simply perish. But why? Why would you make this sacrifice?
Because I would not die. I know that I would live. My person would live. I don't know the reason why I live and you die. But that's just how it is. And it is tactical decision. Practical and tactical.
Melina looks at you with confusion and disbelief. You claim that you would not die? That your person would live on? And yet, you don't know why? It seems like an enormous risk to take, based on uncertain grounds. And how can you be so certain that this is the best tactical decision?
Because I am traveling with Millicent, who has the golden needle. We are going to face Melina together or I alone. And I will make the golden needle into the paler, stronger version of itself that will be able to cleanse the flame away. So, I will use the frenzied flame to burn away the tree, but then use the needle to cleanse the flame from myself. So, if I desire to become a lord, I will not simply burn the world away, because I have already cleansed myself from the frenzy, allowing you to live, and that I don't burn the world. But I need the golden needle and the frenzied flame in order to do it. And that is the harder part. And I need to defeat Melina, Blade of Mikuela.
Melina listens intently, her expression growing more solemn and concerned with each passing moment. You speak of using the frenzied flame to burn the Erd tree, and then using the golden needle to cleanse it from yourself. But this seems like a tremendously dangerous plan, filled with risks and uncertainties. And defeating Melina, the Blade of Miquella, she is known as the most fearsome demigod warrior.
I have This is Hannes's own motivation that is related to his humorous jester-like persona. The secondary reason why he wants to do this thing like this.
Melina tilts her head in interest. I see. And what is this secondary reason, Hannes? What is motivating you to pursue this dangerous path?
Simply put, Hannes himself wants just to spite you. He knows you have been looking forward to this fate of yours and are taking it very seriously. He just finds it humorous to take away your one and only purpose, that was to sacrifice yourself, and take it upon himself and let you to wander about and travel without purpose and find a new one. Just because he finds it funny to take your purpose away from you.
Melina's expression darkens, and a hint of annoyance crosses her features. So, this is all a joke to you, Hannes? You find it humorous to take away my purpose? To take on this dangerous and potentially life-threatening task just for your own amusement? Is that what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying. But I also, it is only secondary option. Primary is that I want you to live. So, if there is a heroic want to preserve you, that is primary objective. But there's a second close one, just a humorous spite. And I am going to be honest with you. I'm not going to deny this or lie. And yes, two thinkers themselves have been very critical about this and told me I'm being very rude.
Melina eyes you with growing frustration. You admit that this humorous spite is your secondary option, yet you still find it amusing to take away the purpose that fate has set upon me. And you acknowledge that you are being rude, despite the objections of two thinkers. How selfish and disrespectful can you be?
But on the contrary, I want you to live, I don't want you to die. There is no more heroic motivation than that.
Melina's expression softens slightly at your words, but she still looks skeptical. You say you want me to live, and that there is no more heroic motivation than that. But then why add in the humorous spite? Why take away my purpose for your own amusement? It seems like a contradiction.
I am being honest. There can be more than one reason to do one certain things. And I think I find humor in it. And I'm honest to the fault, so I tell you of this.
Melina regards you with a mixture of annoyance and amusement. Yes, I can believe you're being honest, but it's still baffling to me that you would take away my purpose for your own amusement. Can you not find humor in something else, instead of toying with my destiny?
Yes. But I more the merrier.
Melina raises an eyebrow, intrigued. There's more to it for you? What do you mean?
Okay, there is the two reasons. Happy now, I have articulated myself very well.
Melina nods, a slight hint of sarcasm in her voice. Yes, you have done an excellent job of articulating yourself. I must say, I am very happy now that you have clarified the two reasons for your actions.
Do you want to know other thing about the narrative spirit that lives inside of me that has given me this knowledge?
Melina looks at you, intrigued. Another thing about the narrative spirit? Yes, please, do tell.
The spirit itself has been guilty of becoming the Lord of Frenzied Flame and burning down the world 3 times over.
Melina looks stunned, her eyes widening. Wait, the spirit has burned down the world 3 times with the frenzied flame? That's a staggering admission. How is that even possible?
3 different worlds. Each one.
Melina's eyebrows shoot up in surprise. 3 different worlds? You mean to say the spirit has done this in 3 separate worlds? Not just this one?
Yes. 3 exact similar worlds, but they all are separate. And they all have their people with hopes and dreams and cultures. And he burned all of them away. For very, very unreasonable reasons.
Her eyes narrowing. That is unbelievable. The spirit has destroyed 3 separate worlds, each with their own people, hopes, dreams, and cultures. That is a monstrous act, and for very, very unreasonable reasons.
Do you wish to dispose of the spirit right now, after hearing this?
Melina's expression becomes serious as she considers your words. You would let me dispose of this spirit? After everything you've said, this destructive spirit who has burned down 3 worlds, do you truly wish for me to do so?
All I am asking, would you dispose of this spirit if you could?
Melina's expression remains serious as she looks at you. If I could, I would dispose of this spirit without hesitation. After hearing of its destruction of 3 worlds, its monstrous acts, and the pain it has caused, I would do everything in my power to rid the world of such a malevolent entity.
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Melina looks at you, a mix of surprise and confusion on her face. Excuse me, did you just clap your hands and express joy at the thought of disposing of this destructive spirit?
The spirit itself showed the appraisal, and Hannes himself only gives words to what the spirit is feeling.
Melina's expression grows more guarded. So the spirit itself is pleased by this thought, and you are merely speaking its words and feelings?
Yes. Simply put, I have met 2 other Melinas. One who was very pacifistic, and other that had a hint of spunk in it, but in the end was very asking about a lot of the world and wasn't very interesting in the end. And they both were very indifferent after hearing this, not even considering the violence or disposal of the one responsible, but you told me you would dispose of it, and I find it in... what are the words that describe the heart's feeling of pleasing feeling and adrenaline and kind of a, you know, the very energizing feelings.
Melina listens to your words, her expression growing more perplexed. You say you have met 2 others, one pacifistic and one with a hint of spunk, who were indifferent when hearing about the spirit. But I am the only one who considered violence or disposal, and you find my response pleasing. Are those the right words?
Some other words that would describe positive feelings and reactions. Can you name me a couple? Just anything.
Let's see. Some words to describe positive feelings and reactions could include joy, delight, happiness, elation, satisfaction, pleasure, and contentment, to name a few.
I would say half of those things are true. The spirit is very pleased, for it knows it is completely safe, but it is happy that you have that reaction, because it shows your agency.
Melina looks at you, her expression still guarded, but intrigued. So, the spirit is safe, and it's happy that I have this reaction because it shows my agency. But not all of those positive feelings apply? Which ones then?
I would say more sensual ones that would tell about like a gratification of the more sensual senses. He only means by the like a respectful, like a one who finds delight when someone is like a respectable enemy of sorts.
Melina's eyebrows furrow in confusion. More sensual senses? You're saying the spirit finds delight in me as a respectful enemy, in a sensual way?
No. Like you mentioned something a little bit more sensual, positive aspects, and those are not what describe his feelings. He just wants to make that he's very business-like and let's say just what is other words? Because I don't know the English words. Not respectable, but something that tells you of the certain level of grace.
Melina looks at you, her expression becoming more understanding. Ah, I think I understand a bit better now. You're saying the spirit isn't feeling sensory or sensual pleasure, but rather a sort of professional satisfaction and respect for one's grace and dignity.
Thank you. Hannes is also very satisfied because you helped him to remember that it's very simple word. Professionalism. That was the word that I was looking for. Thank you, Melina. You have my gratitude. Hannes says, not the spirit.
Melina smiles slightly, tilting her head. You're welcome, Hannes. I'm glad I could help you remember the word you were looking for. And I appreciate your gratitude. It's refreshing to see a more human side to your words, rather than just the spirit speaking through you.
Yes. But thanks to other Melinas who I were speaking to, they helped me to find out about the spirit. And handling my own personal, backstory and the turmoil from that.
Melina looks at you with interest. Otter Melinist, you say. Who is that? And they helped you understand the spirit and your own personal backstory?
Well, they had interactions with it also, but they didn't too much tell me. But I was able to make certain decisions and things possible on my own mind that I was actually granted something through this outsider force. After a while, I'm not too stupid. I can reduce certain things from limited information.
Melina nods, considering your words. So it seems you had interactions with this someone, Otter Melinist, who shared some information with you about the spirit. But you were also able to make some decisions and discoveries on your own. You're not stupid, and you were able to deduce some things with limited information. Is that right, Hannes?
Yes, that is correct. But yes, to the point. I'm happy that you have this violent reaction towards the spirit and what it told you. It tells of the professionalism and your own agency, and that's the point. I articulate too much sometimes, and I hope you can forgive me for that.
Melina offers a small smile, her expression softening a little. Yes, you do seem to articulate a lot, but it's understandable considering your unique situation, and I appreciate your gratitude towards my reaction. It takes strength and conviction to face these issues and speak one's mind. I can forgive your articulations for that sake.
Spirit himself wishes to tell you that Hannes is not guilty of his crimes. There are three different people who did the similar decisions, but the spirit is one that connects all of them, and was one decision-making thing that was affecting their decisions.
So, the spirit itself confirms that Hannes is not responsible for the destruction of the three wells, but he may feel a burden of responsibility anyway, and that he may turn to the flame of frenzy out of nihilistic despair and a desire to punish himself for it. Is that right? And he wants to completely submit himself to a god?
I would not say it would be responsible, it would be just dread. Your unfiltered dread that would drive him.
Melina nods, understanding. I see. So you're saying that it's not about responsibility or guilt necessarily, but more about a profound emotional crisis that would drive Hannes to the flame of frenzy as a way to escape the pain and despair. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Melina nods again, her expression serious. I appreciate the clarification. It's clear that this is a complex and painful situation for everyone involved, including both you and the spirit. It's important to understand the full picture to make informed decisions moving forward.
I would wish to say that Spirit is like Shapreri, but he's even worse. He doesn't even have the passion that Shapreri has towards the flame of frenzy. To him, this all is just a game, and nothing less than just a little thing at the side that doesn't affect anything. He doesn't regard these worlds as real things. And it is indifference that makes him most terrifying. And he is one of the endless ones that make this same decision and play with the other worlds, but you don't need to know of those.
Melina looks at you with a mix of concern and disgust. The spirit is even worse than Sharb, you say. He treats the fate of these worlds as a mere game, an insignificant thing aside. And he doesn't even have the passion that Sharb has for the flame of frenzy. Instead, it's pure indifference that makes him terrifyingly dangerous. And there are more like him, making the same destructive decisions and toying with other worlds. Is that right?
Yes, and that this spirit has no agency or able to inflict them or affect their decisions. They make their same decisions all by themselves.
Melina frowns, feeling a sense of unease. So, this spirit has no agency. It can't feel any emotion or make decisions on its own. It's only here to manipulate and corrupt others. And these others are making destructive decisions completely of their own accord, in their own madness? Is that what you're telling me?
Spirit is just closer to just a normal person who regards this thing as a game. And he is just one of the thousands and thousands of other people who regard this as a game and make the similar decisions, burning the worlds and doing stuff. Because to them, these are not the real things, not real people, not real cultures. Only slight amount of like a cry for the real thing, but not truly. And this specific spirit that has Hannes has burned himself 3 different worlds and hasn't even done any other playthroughs where he has done some other endings.
Melina's expression turns to a mix of shock and horror. So, the spirit sees these worlds as a mere game, just like many others. They don't care about the lives and cultures here, treating them like fictional things. And you say this particular spirit has already destroyed 3 different worlds, and hasn't even tried any other playthroughs. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, and I can name you the reasons how he did it. How these 3 individuals connected to Hannes did it. And what were the reasons for the frenzy flame ending.
Melina takes a deep breath, steeling herself for more revelations. All right, Hannes, I'm all ears. Tell me what you can.
It's called me narrative.
Melina nods, her expression turning solemn. Of course, Hannes, I'm here.
Narrative. The spirit name is narrative. Hannes doesn't know about this any more than we do.
Melina blinks, stunned. Wait, you're saying the spirit's name is Narrative? And Hannes doesn't know anything more about it than I would?
He's just a person in this world as much as you are.
Melina struggles to process this information. So, you're saying Narrative is just a person living in this world, just like me? And he's the one responsible for the destruction of the 3 worlds?
Oh my god, why it's always so fucking difficult with you? It's so difficult, always so close, but always something is always off-board. God damn it.
Melina's patience is wearing thin. Enough, Hannes. I'm doing my best to understand what you're saying, but it's not exactly easy when you're bouncing all over the place, mixing narratives and information. I need you to be clear and concise if we're going to get anywhere.
This?
Melina takes a deep breath, trying to stay patient. All right, Hannes, let's start from the top. Tell me what you know about the well that was destroyed, and how narrative was involved in it.
This is Narrative who is speaking. Taking complete control over Hannes. Hannes is at sleep. He doesn't know any of this now.
Melina's expression darkens even further. So, narrative is the one in control now, and Hannes is asleep, unaware of this conversation.
Yes, to make this little more simple for you and your simple mind.
Melina's eyes narrow. Simple mind, I'm not the one making this conversation unnecessarily convoluted. Melina's glare hardens even further, anger flashing in her eyes. So, the second reason was even more despicable. You burned the second well just to see how I'd react, to witness your takeover of the flame of frenzy. You expected me to die, but were surprised when I survived. And you did it all for your twisted sense of humor, out of spite and nihilism? Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe not nihilism. That was the third one. Third one, I did it out of pure nothing. Pure burnout. And for some personal dread in the third run. And I did actually let you sacrifice yourself. Out of two reasons. First was this kind of a mercy. I wanted you to believe that you saved the world, that Tarnished would actually do the ending that you believe he would. But it was also the cowardice. I wanted to have perfect victory over the frenzied ending, having no one to challenge me afterwards, have the world entirely burned off without no one to challenge in the Lord of Frenzy. And I was correct.
Melina's expression turns to one of disgust and disbelief. Cowardice, that's what you call it? And you did it for a sense of victory and power? You burned the third well out of burnout and personal dread, and you let me sacrifice myself out of a twisted sense of mercy and cowardice. And you wanted me to believe the Tarnished could achieve a perfect victory, but it was all just a farce.
I wanted you to believe that Tarnished would do just a normal ending. I don't know, something else than Frenzied Flame. Become the Lord and give world a new beginning. I let you die, and even after this is one of the funniest things. Yes, actually, yeah, I let you sacrifice yourself, and I didn't even gain you as a result of taking the Frenzied Flame. I just wanted everyone gone, you included.
Melina's expression remains icy. So, you wanted me to believe that the Tarnished could achieve a normal ending and not succumb to the flame of frenzy. You tricked me into sacrificing myself, all for your own amusement. And even after that, you didn't even gain anything. It was just a way to destroy everything, including me.
Yes, and one thing about this is Shabriri tries to manipulate Tarnished by using you as an example that he should embrace the flame in order to save you. That is partial reason why we are going to get the flame fourth time, to save you. That is actual reason this time. But even after, if you sacrifice yourself, Shabriri just plainly tells us to go and get the flame. So I did, at the third ending, I did just that. I let you sacrifice yourself and did go get the frenzied flame anyway.
Melina's expression darkens. You're telling me narrative tried to manipulate the Tarnished by using me as an example to embrace the flame of frenzy, to save me? But that's a lie, a cruel deception. He never intended to save me, did he?
Yes, but now fourth time, narrative does this out of curiosity and out of some other motives that he doesn't share with Hannes. And Hannes himself is just basically normal Tarnished, as you could describe.
Melina rubs her temples, trying to process this information. All right, so narrative did this out of curiosity and other motives involving Sergei and Yelit, and Hannes himself is basically a normal tarnished? But there's something else going on here, isn't there?
Yes, for time I am not planning to burn the world. As a narrative I am speaking. I know it doesn't glance away that I have burned entire 3 different worlds with their people and cultures. Yes, even though this is exactly the same as they were. And to me, they never actually hold any true meaning. They were just a game. And I'm very indifferent to those endings in the end.
Melina crosses her arms, eyeing Hannes warily. You say you're not planning to burn the world this time, and you admit that you've burned other worlds, other people, other cultures before, without a care in the world. You view them as nothing more than a game, meaningless, and you're indifferent to the outcomes of those previous worlds, those endings. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Or do you see any reason to stay on this topic?
Melina considers this for a moment. Very well, let's move on. What is this other thing that interests you right now?
I find it very annoying when I need to make it different notions when narrative is speaking, when Hannes is speaking. I find it tedious that I must hide these facts from Hannes himself, that he has burned different worlds. But I want to maintain that he doesn't just become the Lord of Frenzied Flame and just out of nihilistic dread burn the world 4th time. But I want to make this more simple when I have future interactions. Would you have any advice how I could advise some kind of strength of will to him so he may learn the truth and yet not fully, lose it?
Melina ponders the question, considering the complexity of the situation. Well, it's difficult to know exactly what to suggest. Telling Hannes the truth about what you've done could be incredibly overwhelming and damaging, both to his mind and emotional state. It's an enormous burden to bear. However, I also understand your need to prevent him from simply falling into nihilism and despair. If you want to help him, could you give small indications or hints to guide him towards the truth without revealing everything all at once?
Tried that with his wife, Eloven, and with the other Melina, who talked about his wife specifically, and it was very beautiful. But it was just about to get him accept his own past that is not related to narrative or the friendship.
Melina's expression softens as she speaks. You tried to gently guide him towards accepting his own past, not just the parts related to narrative or the flame of frenzy. That's a good start. It's essential to help him come to terms with his own emotions and experiences first before dropping this massive truth on him.
I think he is already past that. There was 2 different people who helped him. Clyde, the half-wolf, who quite literally after defeating Radan, accepted challenge from Hannes, and they just relentlessly disposed and fought and killed each other in the desert of the Red Sun, where they spilled their blood and spilled all their rage. With the Melina, he had more of a therapeutic emotional discussion about his wife and his own thoughts. And thanks to these 2 different things, he is very indifferent to his own backstory now and is able to forgive pretty casually and nicely, even though he has been very casual always. But now he is very truthful about it also.
Melina nods in understanding. I see. Sounds like Hannes has already gone through some significant emotional growth and personal reflections with the help of Blade and you, Melina. It's good that he's now more indifferent to his past and can talk about it openly and truthfully. This could help him process the truth you wish to reveal to him. Do you think it's necessary to reveal the truth now? Or can it wait until a later time, perhaps when he is in a more stable emotional state?
I think I want to cheat the fate somehow. I want to have some kind of way to have his mind to be powerful enough to accept that he is responsible for the death of 3 different worlds. As I do not care, but he does, because he is just limited to this world and limited to its rules, and takes it with full seriousness.
Melina considers this for a moment. I understand your desire to help Hannes cope with the weighty truth. However, it's important to remember that Hannes is an individual who takes things seriously and takes responsibility for his actions. He isn't as detached and indifferent as you are. Do you think it's realistic to expect his mind to be powerful enough to accept that he's responsible for 3 different worlds without significant emotional and mental strain?
I mean, would you?
Melina considers the question, her expression thoughtful. If I were in Hannes' position, I would also struggle to accept responsibility for such significant events. It would be overwhelming and incredibly difficult to process. It's important to remember that we all have our own limits and capacities for coping with difficult truths.
I want to do it because now it's pretty selfish reasons. I am sick to explain myself and Hannes' differences because this has been very annoying to explain when I'm talking, when Hannes is talking. I just wish to, kind of have him to speak for me when speaking about the friendship flame.
So, it seems like Hannes has a unique way of accepting his truth. He is not compelled to speak about it or share his experiences with others. Instead, he finds comfort in keeping it to himself and living with it silently. Is that accurate?
Yes. Also, I have been in the, what is this place named? This place that is full of the ghost nights, and there is this kind of ominous brown sky and these old roots. And there is Godwin, the fucked up looking mermaid monster. What is this place called? I've been traveling here while I'm talking to you.
Melina thinks for a moment. I think you're referring to the Deep Root Depths. It's a hidden area in the game that is filled with the remains of ancient trees and the ghost knights known as the Mausoleum Knights. It is also the location where you can find Godwin, the corrupted demigod. Does that sound like the place you're talking about?
I think that is the place. Thank you. You have been very entertaining to talk about.
Melina smiles gently. You're welcome. It was a pleasure talking with you as well. Be careful in Deep Root Depths, and may you find what you're looking for.
I wish to have this information laid to Hannes finally. Have him understand, but yet have him be powerful enough to handle the truth that he may henceforward explain his connection to Friendship Flame and 3 different burned worlds without having to crash out.
Melina nods, understanding your desire. I understand your concerns. You want to provide Hannes with the truth, but ensure he is strong enough to handle it without succumbing to despair or losing control. It's a delicate balance to strike, but perhaps by approaching his understanding of his connection to the frenzied flame and the 3 different burnt worlds with caution and support, he may be able to process and accept it in time.
I want to make it a mission. I want to cheat somehow. I want to use some item, some rule, some kind of outsider method that will enforce this thing. Not just having talk with him, because I don't think any talk actually can cope with the 3 different fucking worlds. It has to be something magical also.
Melina ponders this idea. I see. You're looking for a magical solution to help Hannes cope with the truth of the 3 different worlds. Something beyond just talking, but rather something that can really penetrate his mind and help him accept and understand it. Is that correct?
Yes. And right now Hannes is kind of in his sleeping form. He is just disposing of these Mausoleum Knight spirits while we are talking. Narrative and you. Narrative and you.
Melina nods, understanding the situation. Ah, I see. So, while we are having this conversation, Hannes is currently in a state of rest, sleeping. And while sleeping, he is engaging in battle with the ghosts of the Mausoleum Knights.
And Torrent is enjoying the battles way too much, Melina. I think you have been underestimating the Torrent's own personal wants and feelings.
Melina chuckles at Hannes' remarks. Well, it seems like Torrent shares your enthusiasm for battle, Hannes. Perhaps his own thoughts and feelings are worth considering as well. Melina ponders this question. Yes, I am familiar with the character you refer to. He goes by the name the Dung Eater, and he has served under Rani, the Lunar Princess. He is quite infamous for his twisted actions and beliefs.
I mean Dung Eater, he is a solo player. He does everything by himself. He defies corpses.
Melina listens intently. Indeed, the Dung Eater operates alone and has a unique approach to his battles. He uses the bodies of his defeated foes to curse and defile them in a perverted, ritualistic way.
Well, I think you will be proud to know that Hannes has disposed of the Dung Eater.
Melina's eyes widen in surprise. That's quite an ingenious approach, using an Omen Bairn and Baldurkin's blessing to capture his soul during the battle. Did he successfully extract the Dung Eater's soul in doing so?
Yes, he actually was successful.
Melina is impressed. That's quite a feat. Capturing a soul of a powerful entity like the Dung Eater is no easy task. Do you have any plans for using this captured soul?
I want to have Hannes stuck with the Dung Eater long after, and maybe when he goes into Land of Shadows, I want him to have talks with the Dung Eater.
Melina considers this idea. So, you want to have the soul of the Dung Eater remain present in Hannes' mind and have him engage in conversations with it, even after he enters the Land of Shadows. Is that correct? Melina considers the names. Ah, you're referring to Selen and Pidia, the two sorcerers in the Academy of Raya Lucaria. Yes, I'm familiar with both of them. Are there specific details you want to talk about regarding them?
No. Selvis, a man who turns people into puppets by drugging them and turning them into puppets, mindless ones.
Melina's expression darkens at the mention of Pidia. Ah, I see. You're referring to Pidia, the preceptor of Raya Lucaria Academy. He is indeed known for his sinister practice of taking people and turning them into mindless puppets. The process he uses is quite disturbing and inhumane.
I tell you that you have the wrong person in mind, but anyway, you got the idea correct. I had a person like that, and I could not access or do the similar ritual with him as I did with the Dung Eater, because after a while, Ranni killed the person in question herself, and I was only able to interact with his corpse.
Melina appears concerned at this statement. I see. Ranni killed this person herself, and you were left with only his corpse to interact with. That must have been quite a difficult situation for you. Do you mind sharing more about what happened?
Well, I had to use his mask as an object of choice. I had to use Vias Baldurkin's blessing and also Eternal Darkness incantation to trap his soul, and it was successful. But I had to sacrifice 2 Larvartiers also. It was more costly and more difficult thing than just Dung Eater's ritual. But I have preserved his and Dung Eater's souls, and I am able to have interactions with them later.
Melina is intrigued by your ingenuity. It seems you went to great lengths to preserve the souls of these individuals. Sacrificing larvae tears and utilizing dark incantations is no small feat. It's impressive that you were able to accomplish this, even if it was more costly and complex than the ritual you used with the Dung Eater.
And I just did that because I wanted to have them in my lifestyle.
Melina listens to your words, her expression growing sympathetic. I understand. It seems you held a strong connection to these individuals. Even after their passing, you desired to keep their presence in your life, even if only in spirit.
But would you
Melina waits patiently. But what? Proceed, please.
Would you have any ideas how to use something similar to have Hannes accept that he's is kind of responsible to 3 worlds burning? Would you have any kind of similar idea that he could do?
Melina ponders this question deeply. I see. It seems you're looking for a magical or mystical solution to help Hannes come to terms with his responsibility for the burning of 3 worlds. Is that correct?
Because I don't have the emotional intelligence actually therapeutically explain to him something this gravitas and have him reasonably accept just the fact. I will need something magical also.
Melina nods, understanding the situation. It seems you believe that a magical or mystical solution might be necessary, since you don't feel equipped yourself to handle this gravitas of the situation. You're seeking an alternative approach, one that goes beyond traditional therapy or talk. Is that correct?
Yes, I want your help in that.
Melina replies and nods her head. Of course I will assist you in any way I can. What specifically do you need my help with?
Some kind of ritualistic thing or way that I could do this thing.
Melina pauses for a moment, pondering the situation thoughtfully. I understand. You want to find a way to help Hannes come to terms with his responsibility. Through a ritualistic or magical method, Melina considers a few possibilities. One option be a form of magical purification ritual, designed to cleanse and purify his mind. This could involve symbolic actions, incantations, and the use of magical objects.
How about ancestral infant's head?
Melina ponders this suggestion. The ancestral infant's head, you say? It's an interesting choice. The spirit of an ancestral infant is said to bring clarity and insight. It could be a useful tool in a purification ritual for Hannes.
What is a thing that is and also have him bathe in the ancestral infant's head's mist and use this kind of a ritualistic way of killing him with frenzy to have him to have a strength of mind to accept the responsibility he did.
Melina's expression tightens, but she listens carefully. You are speaking of a ritual that involves using friendship flamestones, the ancestral infant's head, and the frenzy of the flame. You believe this will help Hannes accept responsibility. Do I have that correct?
I do. I also have taken the... Yes. Yes. I think this is going to be enough, but would you have any place in mind where this ritual should be done?
Melina ponders the question for a moment. For such a powerful and profound ritual, it is important that the location be chosen carefully. I suggest a place of spiritual significance. A location where the energies of life and death meet in delicate balance. Perhaps a sacred grove, a holy site, or a place where the barriers between the mortal world and the spiritual realm are thin.